What's up, beautiful souls? Your boy Loon is back with another subreddit video, and today we're back on r/NotHowGirlsWork. You guys know the deal. This is just genuinely not how girls work, and a bunch of cringy and very ignorant, sometimes even chaotic posts in regards of how women do not work this way whatsoever. So yeah, let's get into this. But for those of you guys that don't know, I've been live streaming every week, like once or twice. If you guys want to be in tune with that, follow the Discord link in the description box. All right, let's get into today's video. Oh, also, if you aren't subscribed yet, hit the sub button if you enjoy this video, of course. Help me towards 13,000. All right, let's do this. This one says, so proud of him for coming out. Okay, so Path of Men, a woman's life finished at 28. A man's life starts at 28. Few will understand. He transitioned. Oh, I love that. So proud of him for coming out. So, you know, this guy, Path of Men, X page, is obviously trying to refer to how women expire at 28, which is crazy because, like, there's so much more at 28. Are you kidding me? Like, some of my best girlfriends are 28 and older, and they still have a lot going towards them. Like, what? You can still get pregnant after that too. It's a crazy statement here. How is their life finished? I feel like 30 is also the new 20s. And I like to say that because I'm also approaching my 30s. A man's life starts at 28. That's crazy because I'm about to be 28. So I guess my life is just now about to start. Few will understand. Yeah, so this guy definitely transitioned. I feel like for a lot of people, life starts whenever at different times too. You can't really like, I mean, I know I'm taking this literally, but someone's life could start at 21. Someone's life can start at 18 because, you know, they had to grow up at a younger age because of whatever happens in their life. And like for me, for say, I think my real like adult life started when I was 22, I'm gonna say, right after college and after my first year of transitioning out of college. But yeah, don't listen to this guy. I know so many beautiful, amazing women that are older than 28. Expect the unexpected on Pinterest. All right, we got OMG at Rihanna, use your butt. Rihanna's pregnant again by... Okay, so this is obviously a joke. Use your butt. But someone commented saying women could still get pregnant that way. That's not how it works. I mean, like, wait, look at this comment. I've known a few butt babies in my time. They might not have fessed up, but I knew. I'm pretty sure a few are running the US right now. Butt babies, that's so funny. Someone said, actually, you can get pregnant from booty, but it's just very rare. Oh, is that true? Can you get pregnant? Strictly speaking, the answer is no. Booty cuddles is an effective way to avoid pregnancy. However, there is some highly unlikely scenarios that could, wow. And that's from Healthline. Not saying like Healthline is like super, right? Even Planned Parenthood said it is not possible to become pregnant from it, but pregnancy can occur if, we'll just say leakage. We'll say leakage. Okay, so very, very slim chance. Apparently, mansplaining is the same as flirting now, is the title of this one. So we've got a Reddit thread here, and someone commented saying, you've never heard an equivalent term for women as mansplaining, despite the fact that the behavior girldom is real. And what? Who says girldom? And perfectly equivalent. When a girl wants a guy to talk to her, she will be like, oh my, this pencil is so confusing, Mark. Do you know anything about this stuff? And no one bats an eye. But a guy who's trying to get his, I have to censor that, his eggplant. What explains something to a woman and it's a thing. No woman has ever been mansplained to be a guy, to buy a guy she was trying to F, has ever called it mansplaining. She calls it flirting. Wait, that is completely different things. Found this comment on a post about how women find mansplaining to be condescending. Those are completely two different things though. What this guy compared was a girl like purposely pretending to be dumb at something so that she can flirt with this guy, right? And then the other one is mansplaining. And mansplaining is when you assume that a woman doesn't know something, so you gotta explain it because we men, we know everything. It's kind of funny. I actually don't know many things. All right, this one says WTF. Someone posted, guys are just like that. Okay, we have a picture of a chaotic city in flames. How a wife describes her husband, or wolf. So how a wife describes her husband, how a husband describes his wife, and it's a bunch of flowers. No, if your wife describes you like this, you're probably not a good person. Same with if a guy describes his wife like this. And I have met men that describe their wife like this. Not great. You could describe either. Why does it have to be a man or a woman thing? Isn't it? If you don't like your wife or husband, it'd be like that. Okay? Easy as that. This one says, what a strange way to ask for a roommate. Okay. We have a girl who posted a roommate wanted ad that was posted. It looks like on a freaking electrical box or something. All right. Roommate wanted, single male, 44, searching for a roommate. Must be female, aged 18 to 25. Brother, what? What are you doing 44 years old looking for a woman 18 to 25 to room with? This is weird. And then also says, and single, must be willing to cook and clean, 1-bedroom apartment. Oh, so you're looking for a trad wife, young girlfriend. Leonardo DiCaprio. Hey, you're just Leonardo DiCaprio. Actually. You can use the couch until you are comfortable enough to share the bedroom. Ew. What? No pets, no drinking, no drugs, and no male friends allowed. This seems like a horror movie. My home has a no closed doors policy. Brother, you have one door. What do you mean? It's just one bedroom. What other door can you close? The bathroom, maybe. Do you just want the bathroom open? What if she unloads a sinky one, you know? My home has a no closed doors policy. This is for safety. Brother, you're the one who is the safety hazard. $400 a month. What a steal. $400 a month? I get to live with this guy. I have to clean for him, but like I get to live with him and have no privacy and can't invite anyone over. That's a male. And can't have pets and no drinking or drugs. What a steal. How do you feel about that, Sora? Is that a good deal? He doesn't care. All right, this one says this again, ... We're on Truth. TikTok? Okay. Men and women love differently. Okay. A man's love is disciplinary, provisional, and protective. Weird? Not always. Those are weird ways to describe it, in my opinion. Protective, maybe, but a woman can be protective too. What does disciplinary love even mean? Because of this, men are often seen as imposing, oppressive, restrictive, ... as the villain. Well, if you're seen as the villain because of your love, you're doing something wrong, buddy. A woman's love is nurturing, encouraging, and healing. Because of this, women are often seen as innocent, harmless, tolerant, as the hero. Says who? Who wrote this? In today's feminist world, we have removed the masculine element of love, and in so doing have caused an imbalanced generation to stumble. Due to lacking of self-awareness, self-accountability, and self-competence, they are imbalanced, having only known the feminine aspect of love. Hashtag men, hashtag women, hashtag Christ is the way, and hashtag family. Yeah, I had a feeling this is going to be religious based. I don't even understand their argument. Are they saying like because of today's feminist world, love is more female coded? Like I don't understand that, because love is just love, right? Like what? If I love my parents, right? Is that female coded of me to do? Because I'm totally a macho man. I love my parents in a disciplinary, provisional, and protective way. Maybe I'm a villain. All right, I got this from a meme sub, all right? So on this meme sub, someone said, women have been dependent on men since the time of human evolution. That is why they choose such men who can give them maximum resources. This is their subconscious mind's natural selection system. That is why even when they leave the man, they take as many resources / money from him as possible so that they can include it in the reward of their given time, or as the reward of their given time is, I guess, what they meant. Here's my thing about like the prehistoric times. It's hard to determine what actually happened back then. But to think that women have only been, now don't get me wrong, in tribal conditions, right? Historically speaking, I feel like everyone was dependent on each other in a tribe because everybody relied on each other for something, right? And men were often hunters, but women also contributed too, no? They gathered, some hunted, depending on the cultural that we're gonna like, or the area that we're going back in. And then also like men, we have to depend on them to create. Literally, like we can't create without them. I don't know what else to tell you, buddy. This next one says, will these guys just MGTOW already or go their own way already? So someone says, do men settle for women who they're not attracted to? And the post has a picture of a girl crying next to a guy, and it says men's standards for attraction are so low that they will marry women they have zero attraction to out of desperation. Look, I'm gonna blow your guys' minds here, but if you marry someone, it doesn't matter if you're a girl or guy, that you have zero attraction to and you married them out of desperation, I don't even know how to like sympathize for you. That's your own fault, right? And this is a crazy statement because where is this based out of? Like, have you conducted any study on this? Let's read this though. The comment says, even when I had a 2-year-long dry spell, I never once felt compelled to cuddle with someone I'm not attracted to, i.e. obese women. Maybe I'm just not weird in that way. Don't know. I'd rather be alone. Redditors would say my standards are warped or have been affected by corn on the cob, but I've always had the same type since I was a teenager, even before watching Corn on the Cob. I am just attracted to healthy women, just not to the American variety. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you're attracted to that, there's like literally nothing wrong with that. Everyone likes different things. Look at how many genres of Corn on the Cob there are out there. Some dudes go nuts over super thick. It's a myth to think that having preferences invalidates you because you only like one type. Not really the case at all with men. Another comment says, in general, no, but the difference between men and women is that most men find most women to be attractive. Most women don't find most men to be attractive. I don't see where my problem isn't that these are wrong or right. My problem is where have they conducted this study? Because I hate to say this, I'm super picky and I don't find that many women attractive, but that's my own thing. I just have like a really picky brain. At least in a dating sense. Also, I can distinguish between someone being attractive objectively and being attractive to me. There's a difference in that too. Having said that, there's an old saying in African American community, she pay what she weigh. It means that if an ugly, older, or overweight woman is willing to buy her man a house, a car, and the latest video game console that is the day that it comes out, as well as cook him some delicious homemade meals, he will happily commit to her. He will constantly cheat on her with better looking, more in shape and younger women, but he will always claim and come home to her. If this is true, that is a messed up saying. What the world? Oh my God. What? This is a wild thread. Someone else says, someday you should visit the United States and witness what modern women have done to themselves with the standard American diet and their sedentary lifestyle. Okay, with this one, I halfly agree, and also want to add men too, though. You should come to United States and see how the modern human American has done to themselves, not just women. I'm pretty sure both men and women in the US have been a sedentary lifestyle and a pretty bad diet. Not all, but maybe the average. It used to be pre-1980s that most people were normal, healthy body weight and composition. The obese people were relatively less common, and you could often attribute their excess weight to health issues. Most women looked more like actresses in adult entertainment in that respect, which is why those actresses would go do outrageous hair, makeup, implants, etc. to make themselves marketable in that industry. That might be true, but there's the underlying reason behind this is incorrect from what they're trying to point out. I think it has more to do with American capitalist culture and also these big fast food, big processed food brands, a lot of those, they're pushing immediate. And luckily now we're starting to get more, I'm noticing the shift in health, right? Health brands are also through capitalism pushing their narrative to combat the other narrative of, you know, Kellogg and like big brands like that and stuff. So it's a battle, and at the end of the day, it all comes down to money. In my opinion, that's what I've seen. But I don't know where they're going out with this. Nowadays, all these performers have to do is just be fat, is not to be fat, and that's enough to make them stand out. What you've basically implied, as far as I can tell, is that one must stop looking at normal to be impressed by typical modern women. This is a weird comment thread. Yes, they definitely do. So many men will put up with anything just to not be single. You know, I don't want to say that majority of men are like this, but 100% there are some guys out there that will put up with something just to not be single. Now, what the debate needs to, or what needs to be added to this debate, is that women do this too. It's not just men. Human beings that are avoidant of the idea of being lonely often settle. That's the terminology behind settling, right? It's not just a guy phenomenon. It's also not just a woman phenomenon either. It's both people. And there are often, I know a lot of people who have settled in their lives. And not settled in a good way, like settled for someone who I, in my eyes, think that, you know, and they probably think that too. And it's both men and women, not just one or the other. Then there are the guys who constantly pining for relationships, who never stop thinking that they may be better off alone. Of course they do. They don't have a choice, at least in America. In America, if you're a man, you have to subtract 2 from your SMV or your something market value. Oh, your cuddling market value. For a woman, you add 2. So if a man is a 6, subtract 2, which equals a 4 for his adjusted blank or SMV due to, oh my God, that's so stupid. For a woman, if she's a 6, you add 2. Who comes up with this stuff? Brother, also, like, attraction is very subjective. One of my best friends, who is objectively a 7 or 8, it's so funny to say, ripped bodybuilder with great aesthetics and making deep 6 figures, married to obese 3, who is also a feminist. That's really mean of you to say about your best friend's woman. It is one of the saddest things I've ever seen, and was the reason I decided to stop playing the game in the West altogether. Or he might have preferred her for other reasons than what you're viewing. That believe it or not, that's a thing. And it goes both ways, buddy. You know how many freaking beautiful women, even in America, believe it or not, have been with some very questionable men. It's just funny to me that these guys are generalizing the 2 groups against each other, because it's an issue that happens in both parties. Something is off. Maybe something is wrong with his mental health. Women barely care about muscle or height when compared to how important your facial handsomeness is to them. Some women, some not too. What's up with all these generalized statements? A pretty, hot, handsome face will beat out a ripped or tall guy 9 out of 10 times. See, that I want to argue this, because it also depends on personality and stuff too. Women, I feel like even more than men, value someone's success, personality, like non-superficial features. But everyone inherently is at least a little bit superficial. And at least what I think, and this is my personal belief. Every time I went on a date with a super low SMV, what's up with them using this term? Chick, I've always regretted it. They all had bad, stanky attitudes. Imagine settling for Gorlock and then you're still in a dead bedroom, lol. It's a combination of juggernaut law. What are all these things? Everyone goes for an ugly girl thinking it's easy, but this increases competition because so many men have the same idea. And the fact that you can tell, dude, if this is true, I don't even know what to say, because I have never encountered this. And the fact that they can tell when you're dumpster diving, that is a crazy terminology. They have the same attraction triggers as a conventional attractive woman. And if they're not attracted to you, they will use your desperation against you and dog you out worse than... See, now I'm just starting to think that these guys are just talking out of their booty holes. Yeah, I'm done with this one. We're going to move on. That is crazy. Let me read the comments, though. How is it a flex to marry someone you're not attracted to? That says a whole lot about you than the person you're married to. Exactly. Like, that's what is so baffling about this. As an African American, I am glad I have never heard this phrase in my life. Yeah, this sounds like a whole bunch of incels. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, it just sounds like it. I'm not saying that they are. It just sounds like a lot of incel culture talk. I saw this post and it makes me cringe so hard. We're on TikTok here. And the caption of this post, wait, the original post says 14 ways to accidentally meet a wealthy man. Oh my God. Is this a thing? All right. And maybe stop financially mothering the one you're with. Eye emojis. 14 ways to accidentally meet a wealthy man with nails emoji. Because the universe can't bless you if you're in the house, sis. What in the world? This is what I mean by sometimes women are their own worst enemies too, with the Not How Girls Work. All right, 1, start going on walks where rich people walk. I was not expecting this to be that like silly. That means no more hot girl walks in front of Dollar Tree, babe. We're talking yacht side energy. How can you walk besides the yacht? Like, are you walking just right by a yacht like deck? 2, go to overpriced grocery stores, but just buy lemons. He doesn't need to know you're only buying them for the aesthetic. That is crazy. I'm going to tell you guys right off rip, maybe I'm just not a wealthy man. You're not going to be finding me at these overpriced grocery stores. You will rarely see me in a Whole Foods or Publix unless I'm returning something from Amazon. But then again, maybe I'm just not a wealthy guy. And like, to be honest, if a woman that is watching this type of video, I wouldn't even want to be with this type of woman anyways. It sounds like someone who is legitimate a gold digger if they're actually taking this seriously. Ask dumb questions at a luxury car dealership. Wait, So like, what does turbo mean? Smile, blink slowly. He's hooked. Bring your if a guy is actually hooked to this, God save him. He's a dummy. Bring your laptop to hotel lobbies with valet. Don't work harder, specifically with valet. Just work visibly. Let the room service flirt with him about you. What? Be seen, not loud, seen. Wealthy men don't chase chaos. They chase calm. Give serene, not screaming. That's not true. Wealthy men have chased both. We've seen it many times, countless times, arguably. Take tennis lessons, or at least show up to the tennis club with a water bottle and no intention of sweating. Sit in front, first class, and look annoyed. Wow, so you got to be willing to spend a lot of money then. Even if it's a one-time point splurge, you're not bougie, you're believable. Bro, dude, I can only imagine a girl using this tactic right here, 7, and then just wasting her money or points. 8, ask him for book recommendations. Rich men love to feel smart. Men love to feel smart. It has nothing to do with rich. If a girl asks me for book recommendation, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna feel smart. I'm not a rich man by any means. That's a silly one. Bonus if it's at a coffee shop and you're reading The Psychology of Money. Oh no, bro, stop. 9, be mysteriously busy on weekends. Don't explain why. Just say that's a CEO day for me. Let his mind wander and wallet follow. Brother, what? 10, frequent events where you understand 10% of what's going on. Crypto mixers. Oh God, if you're hanging out at crypto mixers to find a man, I feel bad for you, the type of guy that you're gonna find. Finance panels, yacht christenings. These sound so boring. Confidence is your translator. 11, always act like you're late to another life upgrade because you are. That's like not good advice, but I mean that's like out of all these so far, this is like the least bad one. 12, learn how to speak with soft power. You don't need to scream to be chosen. You need strategy. Same goes for your sales, by the way. This can be applied to anybody. Doesn't even matter who. This is crazy. Let's read the comments. I know it's not satire because the whole page is stuff like this. Oh, wow. I must find this page one day. You know what? Not everyone needs to give advice. Not every thought we have is wise. Not every idea needs to be posted. Not every narcissist is a life coach. For real, dude. I hope I never find a girl that is looking at content like this and taking it seriously. Modern women is his signature catchphrase. Okay, we got a guy here. First, he tried to make you feel better, and then you ran him off. Pretty typical. Someone comments, Paulus comments, invalidating someone's medical issues isn't making anyone feel better. It's extremely condescending and can literally unalive people because it tells them that the problem they face are not real, leading them to not seek medical attention. Also, this mindset can be found in some docs, leading to people getting dismissed instead of getting life-saving help. But of course, you'd rather defend a shitty man and tear down a woman sharing her experience. Pretty typical. Modern women making their personal issues everybody else's responsibility but their own is pretty typical, lady. Jesus. Oh God. Is this a whole argument about this? Oh my God. All right. I want to read what he says here. Wait, that's a long. All right. We'll read this and then we'll move on. He says, okay, you clearly don't understand how guys think and speak. All right. I don't know if you even can, but I'll explain anyways. You're right. Having this severe mental and emotional disorder is serious. Okay. So serious that for a guy on a date who might actually be looking for a relationship, it could be a deal breaker. His, as you put it, invalidation is clearly his attempt to say, I'm sure it's not that bad. You're probably okay. Yes, it is a way of trying to make someone else feel better. Of course, with the intention of perhaps pursuing a relationship. The alternative being accepting the proclamation of a deal breaker and walking away. But of course, intentions are immaterial to a modern woman. Oh, God, that sounds so condescending. Such as yourself, who clearly cares more about validation than intention. The whole thing about modern women just makes it seem like these guys only want like trad wives back in the day. That's what I have that is weird about modern women. Why can't you just say women in general? And for modern women such as yourself, anyone who dares not automatically grant you one or all of your favored holy trinity of attention, sympathy, and or validation, who demands you to grow up and accept that your physical and mental health and well-being are your responsibility, that no one else owes you anything, let alone bending over backwards to validate anything. Well, you call that hateful. See, my thing is, some of the stuff he says I can get with, but none of this had to be said in this specific conversation. That's what bothers me, because like what he's trying to get at is like, oh, if you have mental health. And then the weird thing is he's talking about women. Men have mental health problems too. So if you have a mental health in general, yeah, it can be turn off for some people, 100%. That's someone's personal preference. There's nothing wrong with that. But this can apply to men who have it too, and women who are seeking men. Like that, what? And why does this need to be said on a, this is so silly. I'm moving on from this one. Yeah, that's what's funny. Don't threaten a lady with a good time. We heard you are 30 and single, so we're coming to live with you, and it's a bunch of cats. If I hit 30 and single, I'm about to be 28. I hope a bunch of cats come to me. That would be like a Disney princess moment for me. Somewhere someone is mouthing, no cap. Women before makeup, women after makeup. I do that with men with baseball hats. Oh, that's good. Both of those are good. I mean, I've seen some women beautiful without makeup though, but I mean, it's obviously a joke, so I'm going to take this for what it is. It's a funny joke, but that's even a more funny response. Baseball hat. All right, I digress. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to end it on this note. I mean, I had fun. This one was a fun one. Nothing too serious, thank God. Sometimes it gets a little too crazy and serious for me, but this was a fun episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Help me towards my new goal of 13,000 subscribers. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.